Wouldn't it be great if you had a crystal ball to see what the price action was likely to do next? Well, no such crystal ball exists, but I have the next best thing. Chiliz on the 28th of August, we did a video that is likely to drop below 20 cents, and it did. Now I'm going to show you why it's likely to test the 15-cent range based on logic and no emotions. So let's dive straight into Chiliz. So here's the video that I did on the 28th of August, and what we said in the video itself was we're likely to see the market move down below 20 cents, then have some type of reaction, and I'm going to tell you why, and then this is where we're at the moment with Chiliz. So if we just go to now a live chart, check this out. So it's pretty much bang on, right? And there's no actual magic, though it looks magical. There's no crystal ball, though it looks like we have a crystal ball. It's all about psychology of the markets. Individuals are unpredictable, but crowd psychology is pretty predictable. And this is like a practical application of crowd psychology, the social sciences. So high level. And by the way, I'm going to be launching my masterclass that goes into detail on how to do something called Elliott waves. Basically, the 4 secrets to crypto trading. That's coming later on this week. So do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you get early access. It's going to be free, so you can take your trading to the next level. But today, what we want to focus on is this: knowing that the markets, all markets, tend to move in 5s in bull markets, and then a 3-wave correction. This is the most common, typical pattern, and that's what we've seen with Chiliz, right? We saw this beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What should we anticipate next? Well, it's this over here, this A, B, C correction. And more often than not, it will unfold this way. And then we can use something called Fibonacci time ratios and Fibonacci price ratios that actually measures the relationship between one wave to the other wave that allows us to do what we're doing over here. So what we're going to do now is I'm actually going to zoom in. We're going to do a bit more precise, detailed analysis on this part of the market. So it looks like, so there's a few clues here as well. So we don't just use pattern and price. I'm just going to pop out of this chart, and I'm going to go into my weekly chart, which is in the top left-hand corner. And what I want to really pay close attention to is what we mentioned the last time, is this momentum indicator. The blue line crosses below the red, and it marries up quite nicely with these tops. So along with pattern and price, we have this momentum that suggests and indicates that we're going to be sideways to down for a number of weeks. And this supports that thesis, right? So we're stacking the odds in our favor with our decision making based on logic and based on objective information. And this is independent from the strength of the project. You know, it's nothing to do with fundamentals. The fundamentals are baked in to the buying and selling behavior. So we can just see how the crowd is feeling. So if this is a wave A over here, first leg down of the correction, what we said in the last video is that the minimum time taken for a correction in regards to Chiliz should be the 19th of September. So the correction shouldn't be complete before the 19th. So we still got another 6 days or so to go. So it's likely we're going to get another leg to the downside. So this looks like the first leg down, A. We got some type of corrective, B. And it looks like we're going to get this third leg to the downside. So to do the analysis, we do have to make an assumption, which is that this is the top of this wave B. Now, this is not confirmed, so I like to actually put a question mark over here. That just reminds us it's not confirmed. But if it holds, then what's likely to occur is pretty clear and evident. So what we're going to do is something called an alternate price projection and an external retracement. Now, everything is difficult before it's easy. That's why I've created the masterclass to break everything down for you. But simply what we're going to do is we're going to measure this wave. It's called the wave A. And we're going to project a price ratio from the wave B, which is 100%, because wave A's and wave C's tend to be identical more often than not. And there's a tool in TradingView called trend-based Fib Extensions. So we're going to just measure. I'm going to do it from over here. So I'm going to make sure I get this high. I'm going to measure this high over here, this low, and we're going to project it from this potential wave B top. And the key ratios, well, there's two. The main one is actually the 100%, right? And we've got this over here. So now we've got 2 fib clusters. So we've got this one over here that I've just highlighted, and we've got this one over here. So it's more than likely we're going to see Chiliz go down to one of these ranges. And typically what happens is If the first one gets reached, obviously the first one we reached before the second, but if it breaks this, it will tend to go to the next. And this tends to be the typical maximum. So what's the typical maximum correction that we should anticipate? Could be further, but this is just what's most common, what the probabilities state. And it's 12 cents. And the typical minimum is actually this 50% ratio up here, which is around 17 cents. So we're probably going to see it hit this 15, 16 cent mark and possibly down towards the 13 to 12 cent mark. That's with Chiliz. How long should it take? Well, now we can get a bit more precise because again, the wave A and the wave C, in price, they tend to match each other, but in time, they also tend to match each other. So what we can simply do, again, I cover this in the masterclass in a bit more depth, and you'll get access, convenient access to some of my advanced courses that will show you how to do this in a lot more detail. But we're simply just going to measure this so we can narrow down the time that is likely to take. So we're going to go from here to this closing low over here. We'll click it over here, and we're going to project it forward from here. And the key ratio that I want, which is the most common, there is some other ratios, but the most common one is this one over here. I'm just going to make it a solid line so we can see it. So now we've got still a wide date, which is from the 19th to the 4th of October. So 19th of September to the 4th of October. But now we've got this date in the middle, which is the 25th, which we want to be on high alert for. So if we do see some type of 5-wave structure, because wave C's tend to break down to a 5-wave structure, something like this, and we reach something like this, this is likely to be the end of a correction, and we can get even more detailed. But what will tend to coincide is something called a momentum indicator. So I've got a momentum indicator down here. It'll probably do 2 cycles. I'll show you what I mean. Where it will probably go down here, up here, down here, and then the blue. This is a great indication, especially when it marries up with some of the other information. We'll probably see it like this, and then when the blue crosses over here, if this occurs like this, if we've got this 5-wave structure down here, in this price and time ratio, or this time and price ratio, then these are high probability reversal zones for Chiliz. So why is this important? Well, one, you could be short in the market or just be prepared to hodl during this. And again, this is not a crystal ball. No one knows what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. But we just have to stack the odds in our favor and then go with the trend. There's a great saying, the trend is your friend. Ride it until its end, until it reaches its bend. Well, this trend is probably more than likely going to move down into this zone over here. Why is this really, really important? Because what typically occurs after a 5 and a 3 is complete, what I mean by that is a 5 on the upside and a 3 on the downside is complete, is the next expansion of the market. Doesn't matter if it's Chiliz, if it's Bitcoin, if it's Ethereum, just psychology of buying and selling, how humans tend to operate in all markets, just buying and selling behavior based on fear and greed, based on euphoria, pessimism, optimism, all of that coming into play. So what you want to be ready for, again, I'm forecasting here, so this is really jumping ahead of myself, but we did this the last time, is we'll tend to see the next expansion to a new high. And again, if it occurs like this, we can break it down. So if you like today's content, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'm going to be releasing my masterclass. It's the 4 Secrets Crypto Trading Masterclass. I'm going to break these elements down for you in a lot more depth. I'm going to read a quote from my book. I normally read a quote from my book, but actually sometimes I like to go off the top of my mind. I'm going to go over a Buddha quote today, a Buddha quote. Buddha says this: "You and your world are composed of your thoughts. The wise person controls their thoughts." Now, this is a very deep statement because neuroscience now shows that, and it's been proven for quite a while now, that we operate 95% unconsciously. So when we're looking at the price action and buying and selling behavior, even when people think they're making conscious decisions, well, research shows that people are operating 95% unconsciously, and most people don't have a trade plan. And we can use this psychological element of the markets in our favor because when certain patterns unfold, it's telling us what's likely to occur next. So then if you can control your thoughts and go, okay, the news throws us off, so the news tends to be 2 steps behind. We want to look at what can give us the information 2 steps ahead. And I've just found technicals is one of the best ways. Double time frame, momentum, pattern, price, and time. And in the 4 Secrets Crypto Trading Masterclass, I'm going to break it down for you to take your trading to the next level. All right, see you soon.